studying chapter number 3 of standard 6. The name of the chapter is Fiber to Fabric. If you remember, then in the last lecture we studied about what is a fiber. Then I told you that there are mainly two types of fiber, that is natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Natural fibers are the fibers which we get from our nature, okay? And synthetic fibers are the fibers which we make in our laboratory or we make with chemicals. So they are also known as man-made fibers. Then we studied about there are two types of natural fiber, that is, yes, you are right, plant fibers and animal fibers. Okay, so today we have to study about the plant fiber. If you remember, in the last lecture we studied about the first plant fiber, that is cotton. Okay, so today we have to study about second plant fiber, that is jute. Okay, so let's start. Jute. Jute is a plant fiber, means this fiber we get from the plants. Generally, jute fiber we get from the stem of plant. If you remember, in cotton, we get cotton fiber from the cotton balls, that is the fruits of cotton plant. But here we get jute from the stem of jute plant, right? So it is generally cultivated in rainy season. If we compare it with cotton fiber, then cotton generally grown in the warm climate and black soil. But jute is generally cultivated in the rainy season. In India, there are mainly 3 states which grow and cultivate the jute plant. These are Assam, West Bengal and Bihar. So in these 3 states mainly jute is grown. Right? Now the jute is harvested, means the stem of jute plant is harvested at flowering stage. Means when these jute plants got flowers, at that time they are harvested, means they are cut. Right? And then what we are doing, we are immersing this stem in the water. Immersing means we are soaking the stem of jute plant in water for few days. After few days, this stem of jute plant get rot. Okay, they rot because of water. Water get inside the jute stem and they become rot, means spoiled. Right? Now the fibers are separated from the rotten jute plant. Let's repeat once again. The jute plant is harvested at its flowering stage. Means when this plant get flowers, okay, this jute plant is harvested. Now this harvested jute stem is immersed in water. Means we are soaking the stem inside the water for few days. And after few days, when these plants get rotten, okay, then we take out, and with the help of hands the fibers are easily separated from the jute plant. Right? So this is about the two plant fibers, one which we have studied in the earlier lecture, and today we have studied about the jute plant. Now the main question is, from this jute and cotton, how fibers are made or how yarn is made. So let's see, that is spinning cotton yarn. So how yarn is made, that we have to going to study about in this topic. Right? So the process of making yarn from fiber is called spinning. So here the spinning process is used to make the yarn from the fiber. Okay, so spinning is the process in which the yarn is made from fiber of either cotton or jute, and then we are using that yarn to make the cloth or fabric, right? So spinning is the process to make the yarn. Fibers are drawn out and twisted. When we take the fibers, okay, so fibers are taken out or drawn out and then they are twisted, okay. A simple device known as hand spindle or takli is used to do this. Means spinning is done with the help of a simple device which can be used by hands, is either known as hand spindle or takli. Another simple device which is used for spinning is charkha. You might have heard about charkha. Yes, you are right. Our beloved Mahatma Gandhi ji used charkha to make khadi. Okay? He started making khadi by using charkha, and he didn't want all Indians to wear the clothes which are coming from Britain. So he told all Indians to use charkha for spinning and to wear khadi. Right? Spinning can be done with hand spindle or takli and charkha. But nowadays in the big factories we have to make so much of yarn. That's why the machines are also available for the spinning. Now our next topic is yarn to fabric. Means first we have seen the fibers. From fibers through spinning we have made yarns. Now next step is from yarn how can we make the fabric, that is cloth, right? So let's see yarn to fabric. Here we have to make the cloth or we have to make the fabric with the help of yarn, right? So it is possible by two methods, that is weaving and knitting. Okay, there are two methods by which we are generally making the fabric, is weaving and knitting. Now what is the difference between this weaving and knitting? Is weaving is simple process in which two sets of yarn are used. So here you can see two sets of yarns are used in weaving. One yarn is going like this, okay, that is vertically, and other yarn is going like this, that is horizontally. The clothes which we are generally wearing, these clothes are made from the process known as weaving, right? So in weaving mainly we have to remember that two sets of yarns are used. The weaving is done with the help of looms, okay, and these looms are either hand operated or electricity is used to operate these machines known as looms, okay. So looms are there to weave the clothes either with the help of hand, okay, or with the help of electricity, right? Okay, the second method is knitting. Knitting means when we wear the sweaters, the sweaters are knitted, right? So here only one set of yarn is used to knit any cloth, right? So the main difference between weaving and knitting is in weaving two sets of yarn are used, while in knitting only one set of yarn is used, right? So here in knitting only one set of yarn is used, okay, and generally knitting is done to make the sweaters, socks, etc., right? Weaving is done with the help of looms, right? Then knitting. Knitting is also done with the help of machines or with the help of hands. Means we can also knit a sweater, and sweater can be knitted with the help of machines, right? So now the next topic after yarn to fabric is history of clothing material. Before we start this topic, let me tell you that weaving and knitting are the two main process to make different types of fabrics which we wear, right? Like kurtis, frocks, t-shirts, jeans, these all are the fabrics, or we can say cloth material which we wear, okay, is made with the process of either weaving or knitting. Now next is history of clothing material. As we know, the people who are living back, okay, they don't know how to wear, what to wear, okay, even they don't know stitching. So what they wear? Yes, you are right. They wear using the animal skin or fur of the animal and bark of the trees or big leaves to cover their body. Okay, before so many years, okay, in the past, in the history, the people were not knowing what to wear, how to cover their body. So what they were using? They were using the different plant or animal materials like big leaves and bark of a tree, okay, from the plants, and fur or skin of the animals to cover their body, right? Then they learn to weave the twigs and grass into mats. As there is an agriculture period comes, means as the people know how to cultivate the crops, at that time they learn how to weave the twigs and grass into mats. Okay, so people were not knowing how to stitch a fabric. So what they do? They just draped the fabric around their body. Means what? They were not using the stitched clothes to wear. They were just wrap the cloth around their body. Say for example, dhoti, sari. These are the examples of the fabrics which we just have to drape, or we have to cover our body by wrapping it around our body, right? So they were using this types of fabric to cover their body. Nowadays the different fabrics are also used which we wrap around our body. Say for example, sari, dhoti, turban. Turban means a cloth which we wrap around our head. Okay, so this is used to cover the body. Okay, the early Indians were using the cotton which is growing near our holy river Ganga. They were using this cotton to make the fibers, and ancient Egyptians, means people who were living in Egypt, they generally used the cotton fiber as well as the flax which were growing near the Nile river, and they were using this fiber to make the different types of fabric. So here we have completed our chapter fibers to fabric. In the 7th standard, you are going to learn about the animal fiber, that is wool and silk. In the next lecture, we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter number 4. Till that, don't go outside, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.
आभार।